We are live here at SRL 360 headquarters, and we are here. I'm here with Tim James, Lachlan Martin, and Joshua Butterfield. How are you boys?
Yeah, we're pretty good.
I'm good.
Doing good.
Oh, please.
That's good. Very good, eh? Well, so here today we're here to preview some of the round 5, and we'll be recapping round 4 and some of the dramas that went into the team lists and news in the SRL. Other than that, it won't be too much more. Let's get straight into it. What was the first game round 4? Can someone remind me?
Raiders, I believe.
Yeah, well, it was Raiders Warriors.
Oh, guess that.
So,
Yeah.
what are our thoughts on this game, boys?
I think it was a pretty good game. Honestly, I think it was Jacob Morrison at fullback for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he was a fullback.
Yeah, he played a very solid game. I think he provided the Raiders what they were missing. But I do also think the Warriors played an outstanding game.
Yeah, look, I think where the Warriors stood out was John McCartney, first of all, in his first game for the Warriors, played absolutely incredible.
But yeah.
And then on top of that, they managed to get a lot of pressure on their halves, especially Jack O'Neill. And also, not Luke Thompson, actually. Luke Thompson still ran for 255 run meters. But they managed to get a lot of pressure onto Jack O'Neill and made him sort of struggle. He managed to force 3 errors out of him, in fact. And I think that's where they ended up winning the game.
Yeah, definitely. They did seem to have a game plan in trying to shut down Jack. I think it worked. It definitely did work. Where they nearly brought the Raiders back was their own errors. They had something like 6-7 errors, and they really need to cut that down. But like you said, John McCartney had a great game for his first one in the New Zealand Warriors. There was someone else, I can't remember who, but they really...
Sage Bigelli also played really solid. 232 run meters and line break, 2 try assists. He also played really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Chance Bunce also had 9 line breaks, but that's what we kind of come to assume from Chance.
Yeah.
270 run meters, he played outstanding.
What I find interesting at the moment is that they've gone from being carried by the fullback, the Raiders, like most teams, to being carried by a man who I'd like to call Luke Thompson. He had another exceptional game. 255 run meters, 3 line breaks and a try. You can't fault that. That was incredible. From a halfback, keep in mind. From a halfback.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, and also, like I was saying, like Jacob Morrison had 200 run meters, 7 line breaks. He played outstanding as well. And
I know he ran for a lot of meters statistically. I actually felt like I didn't really notice him that much, Jacob Morrison.
I didn't notice him in the first half, but in the second half, he was just all over the place. He was making line breaks left, right, and center. He played an amazing game, and it was like that last piece of the Raiders' attack that they were missing. Because Mark Owen's a great player, but he just hasn't really hit off this season. Whereas I think Jacob Morrison was really what the Raiders needed.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I find it interesting, though. We'll get to this a bit more in a sec, but I believe that the Raiders have reverted back Mark Owen, the fullback, which is interesting.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that as well.
I thought Morrison deserved at least another game there. Maybe we'll get a game later in the season, we'll have to see. But do we move on to the next game, boys?
Yeah, let's move on to the next game.
So what was the next game?
Broncos-Panthers.
Broncos.
Oh, let me guess. Panthers lost.
Your guess
No.
was
It was
correct.
in Golden Point, alright? We tried our best this week.
Yeah.
You
was in
guys did
Golden
not
Point.
finish too bad. 19-18. I mean, it
It was in
too
Golden
bad.
Point. I hate Liver Rain. That's a joke. Don't take that out of context. What I just said. But
I mean, you
Liver
guys did
Raymond
alright.
has broken my heart again. He does
You
it
guys
too
did
often.
all right.
He does it too often.
I mean, most of your players did run pretty good.
Yeah, the Panthers had actually a pretty good game. I think James Thorne had his best game of the season, if not one of the past couple of seasons. I don't think he was outstanding, but at the same, but
I
he
thought
was
he carried our
solid.
kicking James Vaughan.
Yeah, definitely.
I find it
And I think
interesting, right? Sorry to cut you off there, but I find it
Yeah.
interesting that Penrith are coming last, but currently we have the player with the most tries in the comp and the player with the most try assist in the comp.
wait, who's that?
So the most tries in the comp is Brody Kennedy, and the most try assist in the comp is Mike Lee.
Actually, wow.
Yeah, that's what I checked the other day. That's a real thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mark
like,
Lee has
those
6
two
try
players,
assists. Brody
that's the
Kennedy
only
has
like
6.
two players that are performing well.
Only
I think
tries
That's the
Simon Hunt's
reason they're
performing
coming
well.
last.
Simon Hunt had also really good performance from us, but I'll let you guys take over this game because this is my game, and I could talk for ages
How
about
many
what
try assists did he have this game?
3.
3. Good on him.
Mark
Yeah,
Lee did
right.
alright, didn't he?
Yeah.
Far out.
Definitely.
Yeah, Markley, yeah, he's just been solid for you guys. I think since the since the start of the season, he's been like moving in and out of halves and the hooker position. I think he was really solid in the Tuesday night game. I also think the Broncos made it really hard for themselves when they put Levi Raymond on the bench. Ultimately, he won the game for them, but I think if he was in the starting team, it would have been a lot harder for you guys to get into that golden point situation.
Yeah,
No, it's not too bad.
I don't know why they didn't start Levi Raymond. Like, he's still not a rotation player.
They've actually
Yeah.
started him this week, so it's good to see him finally get back into the side.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the go with Mark Lee actually, Lachlan? Like, I've just been a bit confused on why he keeps moving in and out of halfback and hooker.
Oh no,
like,
he
Yeah.
played the first 2 games at hooker, and then since then he's played halfback.
yeah, but some would probably say he was like the best hooker last year, considering
probably-
he finished pretty well up
He
there.
probably was, but I think personally he's getting his hands more involved at halfback, and I've really liked him in 40 and a halves.
Yeah, he did alright in hooker though this game. 3 try assists.
He
109
played
kick
halfback
meters?
this game. He played halfback this game.
Oh, what? Oh, mate, sorry, I was just reading for what it said.
Yeah, he played halfback this game.
Yeah, it's because his position is halfback. That's why he's he's hooker.
Yeah.
His main position. That's based on what RLL4's his main position on
Yeah.
RLL4 is.
But he played halfback this game.
I also think that this is what is probably going to best suit Penrith, having both Markley and James Thorne in the halves, because you see Markley is getting all those last play running options, while you just give James Thorne the kicking, which he has probably one of the best kicking games in the comp when he's on. And I think he just needed all the pressure to kind of get off him.
That's the thing. I think when now I don't want to this wrong because again I love James Ford, but I think the thing with James Ford is when he has when people put pressure on him, he really struggles. But when I think the Broncos put absolutely zero pressure on him. I think they were all targeting Mark Lee, knowing what he could do. They did not put any pressure on James Ford. Well, look what he did.
Yeah, he played amazing.
He tore that kick. He probably that's probably the best I've seen a kick in about since season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, he was just I don't know what you told him going into the game, but he played outstanding footy. 130 run meters, 228 kick meters. Like that has been like his best he's played for a long while, and it's giving a remnants of the man that was the Australian half. The main Australian half in that.
Yeah.
I also do think that the Broncos forward pack really were kind of winning the middle. I think what's his name? Pete Ferretto. Ever heard of that guy? He he had a very strong game. He was moving in and out of the middle, even though he was in the second row, and he was just dominating that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I think Pete Veretta probably was the Broncos up there with their best player. Obviously, I think you had there's a few up there. Let me think. I think obviously Leo Raymond, when he came on, he was probably for Broncos' best player in that second half.
What about that guy Coda Diab, hey?
I also think
He's pretty good.
Yeah, Coda Diab, but he ran for 200 meters. You can't really go
playing
wrong with
hooker.
that.
Playing hooker though.
Did
Which
he?
hookers,
Oh, I
yeah, he was
thought-
playing hooker. Which
Okay.
overall
But
hookers
200
run a lot of
meters hooker
meters.
is basically okay.
Well, he still had a pretty good game. 33 tackles.
I think
Could
though
have done more with the ball though.
the man of the match for me for the Broncos was Michael Crimp. He was absolutely unreal. He was the man of the match in the entire game. He was an unreal for me.
5 line breaks like that. 186 run meters. That's like amazing for a winger.
Yeah.
Sam Herbert also probably had his best game of the season.
Yeah, Sam Herbert has been really quiet this season, and I think we got a glimpse of what he can really do. Because we all know he's a great fullback, and I think it was only season 2 we were talking him up as probably one of the best in the comp. But he then went really quiet, but I think he's starting to find his footing again.
Michael Crim.
That's no
Sam Urban. He's also won a
Urban.
premiership, yeah. Won it with the Manly.
Yeah, Manly, he won a premiership with.
Ever since he left, it's gone a bit quiet.
Man.
No. Yeah, didn't he win one at Manly?
Yeah.
Good. I'm just making sure. Just gotta remember.
Sure.
It's been a couple of long months.
Now, just making sure, Sam Herbert was playing fullback that game, right?
He played fullback and switched into the halves in the second half.
Okay. Because I was wondering why he was being the dominant kicker in.
Well, actually, since he moved, so fullbacks don't kick at all. He started at fullback, which means he got 220 second half kick meters.
And I think that's somewhere that the Broncos need to work on for this week. I don't know who's
I think, look, this is just my opinion. That's his best game he's played all season. I think Broncos should consider playing him in the halves, genuinely.
Yeah,
Sam Herbert. He kicked 220 in the second half alone, because fullbacks don't kick at all.
You also got to remember they probably weren't playing their most dominant half. They were playing a man who's played most of his career in the outside backs and a rookie. When Levi Raymond had at one stage had, what was it, top 3 kick meters? I could be wrong there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And so once again, I don't know why they put him on the bench. I think it was a very stupid move. It worked out in the end, but
yeah, the thing is about playing Sam Herbert at fullback, they already have a bit of a half dilemma to Broncos. I guess if you add Sam Herbert in at the half position at 5'8", it would be. I think he could play. It would add another level of complexity to that half combination that they're sort of building at the moment. But at the end of the day, I think that was probably Herbert's best game all season, and he played half the game at halfback, not fullback.
Look, if I was the one of the captains over at the Broncos, I would move Raymond into the 7, Herbert into the 6, and then play Cherry Evans in the centers.
What about Cherry Evans at fullback then?
Cherry Evans at fullback, because who moves to fullback?
Because you have Herbert into the half, so Cherry Evans fullback then. That would leave Carl on the bench.
Look,
that could work.
I would
work for the Broncos.
In my opinion, I would move
Crimp
to fullback. I think he's shown that he can make line breaks. He's got the speed.
He does have the speed, but I also feel that Cherry Evans is proven at fullback.
Cherry Evans was really good last season at fullback, but they just switched out of nowhere when he was playing for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was sort of like, they were trying something different, even though Cherry Evans was their best player.
I think it's because he didn't quite have the speed. Like, because his speed is only 75. He's not a quick fullback. And I think that's the only place that's letting him down, because once he gets into the backfield, he'll only make an extra 5, at most 10 meters. Whereas
I still think that's the best option. Because I actually think after that game, Herbert could be one of the premier halves of the comp after that game.
he could, yeah, definitely, easily.
So that's why I think that maybe moving Herbert to 5'8" could reignite the season. I mean, the Broncos, they don't. Let's be realistic here. They don't deserve to be two wins and 2 losses after
Not
4
at all.
rounds.
Not at
Let's be realistic here. Like, they have been worse than that. But they're in a position where they could potentially, make the finals.
Yeah.
Fudge. Alright, let's move on to the next game. Been on that one for a little while.
Yeah, we have actually. Yeah, let's.
I think we
It
need
was
to
the
move
Eagles.
on.
It was
Yeah.
the Eagles was the next game.
Oh, Jesus.
Great game.
Good game.
Yeah.
That was very close, and I did not expect it to be as close as it was then. I mean,
No, neither did I.
I thought us, the Eagles, we're just being considered, not making the finals. And after that game, I think it's the final hopes have been gone. But I thought we did great fighting that game against the Premiership.
I feel
winners.
really bad for you guys. Like, yous got so close to winning that game. Like, that, yous were 79 minutes in. Yous was like 40 in prime position to kick a field goal, and then yous went short side when you probably should have just picked it up.
Yeah.
And then,
That's also what happened in Gold Point before us. But anyway, we've already talked about that. Let's move on. But continue.
Yeah.
I was really. It was a nail biter there. I also did think it was a little odd. I got a message as the game was starting that I was moving into prop after halftime.
Fair enough.
It surprised me. I think I actually did played pretty
Because
well.
we take it off at half time.
I was taken off at halftime.
That's why, man. When you come off at half time, right before you'll go back on
Yeah.
the props. So even though I think at the very first conversation we had when I interviewed you, I made a joke about
I remember that.
with 16 and 17 didn't go anywhere. Are you prepared to play prop? I made a joke. Turns out that actually happened. So
Yeah, I remember the conversation. I remember going, "Oh yeah, sure." But yeah,
So I actually want to if this wasn't a live stream, I'd say roll the clip and I get Liam to add it in, but it's a live stream. So instead I'll just say go back and watch the first time Butter ever came on to SRL 316. You can see that I did in fact ask him. I had to play prop.
it was SRL 180 back then.
Well,
Yeah.
it was 180 back then. We'll go
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, memories. Anyway, let's continue.
But the Eels game, I didn't expect us to really, put up a fight, but the boys did well. Even though it didn't really, help us and we didn't win, I thought we did alright. I mean, Eli moving into centres, what's he called, Joey at fullback. I think.
To be fair, I
Yeah.
want to say something about Eli at centre. He actually played pretty good for a centre. Centres, he actually had a pretty good game for a centre.
For centres, yeah, he had
Yeah.
a good game for centres.
For centres, not
Yeah.
as a good game overall, but for centres,
Yeah.
to run 75 meters for a centre is actually pretty impressive, and have a try assist and a line break. So
I still think it's was a little bit of a dumb decision.
oh yeah, definitely. But I think
Definitely, yeah.
he actually played pretty good for a centre.
Oh,
Probably,
I I thought there was a Charlie Butler probably had his best game in a while.
That was
Yeah,
an amazing game.
I was happy. I was ecstatic for him to pick up his first SRL try. I mean,
That was
he made his debut in the
His
semis.
first one.
He won his first grand final in his literally second game, which is something crazy to do. Then he finally picks up a try assist and a try. 3 seasons into his career.
is that really his first try assist?
No, his first try.
Oh,
He's had
first
more
try.
try assists.
I was gonna say for a half. How is he? How is he still in the SRL if he hasn't picked up a try since
no.
3 seasons into his career?
Yeah, no. It was good to see how well the boys did. I mean, Samuel Lillard, the big boy, he picked up a try. He only played 43 minutes, 43 meters. But Joey Kelly at fullback, I just want to ask you boys about that. How do you boys think he went at fullback?
Oh, he was okay. I mean, he had, I
thought he was actually for a fullback who's pretty poor.
he was pretty poor, yeah. But
But
I think
to
I
be
would have
fair,
still gave
yeah.
him another week. I think it was a bit
No, who's playing fullback this week? For them, I know they
Damien
changed
No,
Shelford.
he's not.
Shelford.
He's not
I would
playing
have just
fullback.
gone back to be honest. I would have just gone back to Barnes, but
It's
yeah, he plays.
but I mean, it's just experimenting. I mean, Joey Kelly, he had an alright game, but it's because he's a winger moving into a fullback position. It's like an entirely new position. You're like a third playmaker.
I would have liked to
You've
see
literally done it all.
I would like to see the rookie Xavier Demanda given a shot. He's actually been really good for the Eels on that wing.
He
He
has
has,
been-
yeah, but I
yeah.
think they're trying to test out Shelford because I actually think Shelford was really impactful off the bench.
Yeah, he's like one of the best impact players on our team, pretty much. I don't think he's
He
done nothing really
also
wrong.
kicked 200 kick meters in 40 minutes. So
But he
that's
also
pretty
did throw
impressive.
the ball that pretty much gave up the game. But it's alright. We move on. It happens, man.
I mean, you just got to move on. You just got like the season for you guys. He's almost out of finals race now.
Unless we do something like Parra did in 2009, where they just win every game in the back end of the season.
Shelford coming
I
to
don't
Jared
think
Hayne off the SRL.
Oh yeah, Shelford becomes Jared Hayne. That
Shelford
actually
becomes
mad.
Hayne. He just goes, "Whoa, Hayne."
Yeah.
He just decides,
Hayne's
you know
playing.
what, I actually kind of want to make finals this season and not just sit around doing nothing. So we're going to make finals this season.
Yeah, we don't
that's
want
what
to
I'll
sit
carry
down.
a team, bro.
That's our
Should we-
mentality. We don't want to sit down while every
I
other
get-
team is playing finals.
I get
Yes.
that. 3 seasons
Yeah.
in still haven't made it, but don't worry, season 4 we're going all the way season 4.
Have you guys even won anything this season? Who won
I
this
mean-
season?
We're currently on a 6-game losing streak, but we'll get there eventually.
How much games are in the SRL this season?
Seven.
But we had carry on from last season. We lost our last 2 games of last season and first 4 this season.
Oh,
We're currently
Jesus.
tied the longest losing streak ever in SRL history.
Which is the longest?
Well, it's tied with the Broncos. Broncos.
Then
They
we'll
lost 6
break
games in
the
a row.
dark. Jesus. Ha. Not bad, Penrith.
Alright, should we move on to the Cowboys and Rabbitohs, the final game of the round?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should.
I actually have a few things to say on this game, but I'll let you guys talk first.
I was surprised by Cowboys and how much they've changed and how well they did. I mean, they beat the Rabbitohs.
They
It's
played absolutely
crazy.
incredible this game. It was
Yeah.
actually insane how well they played.
I sent a message in the SRL chat before this game, probably a couple of days before, and I said that the Cowboys were like the most underrated team in the comp because you have a look, they were second in the ladder coming into this game. They were best. I think it was best or second best attack or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's an interesting one, this one, because like I actually thought the Cowboys were getting overrated before this game. The reason being was obviously round 1 they smashed the Raiders, right? That was an amazing performance. But in round 2 they lost to the Broncos, who we know how well the Broncos have been going, and they probably should have lost to us.
Yeah.
So I actually thought they were getting pretty overrated, but this game put all their doubts down, and I think they're the only team that can match Melbourne Manly this year. With how well Manly are going.
Oh, I think the thing that mainly the main thing that Souths really need to fix up is I think we can go with those 2 good teams as long as we don't make those silly errors and our defense needs to improve. That's the only things that I really could fault on this game. I thought we were near perfect apart from those errors inside our own end. Like we just made a couple silly errors, let the Cowboys inside our half and had some very poor defensive moments.
It wasn't just that. There were a few players on the team that I thought personally should have done a bit more. I mean, one player I thought, I know, like, obviously he ran a lot of meters, but being realistic, Aaron O'Heir, this is who I'm going to talk about here. Probably should have tried a bit more. I thought he was very quiet in this game. Obviously, once again, I thought Isaac Edwards, Ash Crutcher, and Liam Ryan definitely steered the team around, but it was just, I think it was their middle. Their middle wasn't as strong as the Cowboys. And while the Cowboys were able to make meters easily, the Rabbitohs really struggled to get out their end.
I think it was just the middle defense. It just wasn't good enough. That's all it was.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think when you look at some of the guys like you know, you had Drake Dranigan miss 4 tackles. That is pretty bad for a second rower.
We did figure out though. Drake Dranigan is coming. I think Drake Dranigan's fatigues pretty quickly. So this week we're trialing something to have him. I'm only playing 60 minutes.
Pull him off at half time. Is that what you're trialing? Yeah, okay.
Because he was pretty fatigued. So
I also thought another guy who I've been really impressed with the opening rounds. I thought Jake Tass was really quiet tonight.
He was really quiet.
He only ran for 45 meters, only 15 tackles, 1 missed tackle. Did set up a try, but other than that, didn't do all too much. I think that's where the Rabbitohs really struggled, was their middle. And look, when you look at it, I don't think they have the credit. I think that's where they're going to struggle. That's what happened in the Seagulls game. They just couldn't compete with their middle. The Rabbitohs' middle could be initial come late season. Just the middle third of the field.
Oh, it's really, really.
That's my biggest.
Oh, the biggest thing for us, and I still regret even saying yes to this, even though I love seeing him do well at another club, I still regret letting go of McCartney. Like, he was so impactful.
It's been one game and you're already regretting it.
Yeah, because he was so impactful for us off the bench.
But at the end of the day, was he ever gonna get a start at the Rabbitohs?
But he was impactful on the middle, so like it didn't matter.
Look, I think another thing was that the Cowboys halves hit. I don't know where this came from, but they played it amazingly.
Who did, sorry?
The Cowboys halves, like both of them.
So did the Rabbitohs halves, though. I think that's what they sort of get each other around.
I'm not saying that Isaac Edwards and Ash like played a terrible game, but I think this is probably the best game the Cowboys halves have played. I think
definitely Damon Wilder was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he averaged 40 kick meters. That's insane. 211 of 5 kicks. That's an insane amount. He also had a couple line breaks. They limited their errors, and I think that's something that that the Cowboys halves do struggle with a bit. It is errors and missed tackles. I think their missed tackles were pretty good this week, but again, the errors need to be more contained.
I mean, you can't really contain them though, but you really can't as a half. I mean, I get you gotta play disciplined, but at the same time, when you're playing those good sides, you're gonna have to take those risks. It's simple as that.
I understand that. I understand that, Liam. I understand that, Liam. But when I'm just going to compare two pairs of halves. Isaac and Ash combined. I can't find Ash's, but Isaac alone has the most errors out of a half. He has 5 errors alone.
Yeah, but I think the reason that is though is you got to keep in mind he touches the ball a lot, Isaac.
He does, but look, at the same time, Lewis has 1. Over the entire season, he has 1.
But Lewis doesn't do much.
I don't think Lewis has touched the ball even a third of as much as Isaac Edwards has. When he touches it that much, he's bound to make some errors.
I'll give you a good example, Butters. Do you know last season in the NRL, right? This is in the NRL really good. I think it works for this one. It works for regular 4 though. This example, Tom Trbojevic had the most errors real life last season out of any player.
Okay, but
Isaac Edwards makes a lot of errors because of how much he touches the ball. I understand, but I get what you're saying, but that's the reason why.
The more you touch the ball, the more likely you're going to make an error. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but But I still think the amount of errors he's making is too much compared to how much he's touching the ball. I understand he does touch the ball a lot for you guys at South. He is the main playmaker, but 5 errors is still an insane amount.
It's 5 or 4 games. It's one. It's
Okay,
what? It's
Markley
one or
has
2 a
4.
game. It's one. It's
Markley,
just over 1 a game.
Markley has 4, and he was playing in the hooker for first 2 games. He touched the ball way more than Isaac Edwards.
Yeah, but
Well,
like
but Hooker-
being realistic here, but is like hookers aren't going to drop the ball as much as half because of how rugby life 4 players work.
Rugby League Live 4, they will just catch the ball and they'll just pass it off. And
Well, on where halfbacks actually like take on the line and then they'll try to pass it when they're in the line, which is more likely to happen if you're closer to if you're touching the ball more a lot
I'm
more.
not trying to shit on Tim here, but Tim has 4 and he's playing hooker, so I don't know
Shut
what
up, mate.
you do.
Well, that's
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's
I'm also looking at it right
No
now.
need to shit on me like that.
That was-
Jesus. Just because I'm a great.
Like, look,
hooker.
Jack Anu also has 5 errors. Are you gonna like talk about that?
Oh yeah, geez, I still think 5 errors is too much.
I'm a
Look,
running hooker, mate. I run and pass, alright?
Oh, okay then. So do you think Isaac Edwards should be still playing for? Do you think Isaac at the end of the year would you pick Isaac Edwards and halfback for Australia?
Nope.
Oh, that's actually a tough one.
Well, if he makes 5 errors, so if 5 errors is too much, why would you pick him then?
No,
But
that's a tough. No, that is a tough one.
But
Like,
the thing is, I mean, you look at. I'm pretty sure that last season I had the most errors for a half almost. I mean, would you have picked me for Australia at the start of this
Yes.
season?
Well-
It's similar to that.
I'm not. Like I said at the start, I'm not saying that he played terribly, but in my opinion, the difference between the two halves were the errors, and it's been a part that has stopped. Oh, I don't want to say stopped because it sounds like he has played.
I mean,
almost-
Isaac only made 1 error on the weekend. Like it's not like he made
Yeah,
like 4
that was-
or something. He only made 1. I think it was that he took on the line and then went to and then Robbie Love
Yeah.
thought, yeah, let's pass, and then he was already like in the line
It
and
was,
dropped it.
yeah, that's what happened. Exactly what happened. I remember it.
Look, in my opinion, 5 errors, way too much for a half, and
Half's
a lot
making
of
the most
them
errors out of
are
everyone. If you look at like the leaderboard, half's making the most errors. You got Jack Anu, Isaac Edwards up there. You got Cherry Evans up there, who's played mostly in half. Mark Lee's played half the season, half this
Okay.
career in half. Damon Warner's up there too, 4 errors for the season. That's only 1 less than Isaac.
That's only 1 less than Isaac. And Isaac, and you look at, I don't think Moana's touching the ball as much as Isaac is. And you look at this, and you look at the try assist, it just shows like Isaac. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
I'm just saying
I'll give you some instances. You got Charlie Butler, 1. Okay.
Plays off the bench, didn't he?
Yeah, he's played a lot of seasons off the bench.
No, he hasn't, bro. He's been playing. He's been starting, alright?
Okay.
He's been starting a lot of the games. Carl Lewis, 1. Magelli, 3, which is probably, I think, pretty average. Who else? Ash Crutcher, 2.
Both were made on the weekend.
Yeah, and both were made on the weekend. So before the weekend,
Butters,
only 2. I have 2.
but Butters. The thing is, you have 2, and Ash has 2 because you both run the ball. All you do is run the ball.
I actually, you look at my run meters. Look at my
I
run
actually think
meters.
Ash made more errors this weekend because he actually took on the line. I think beforehand, Ash was more of a kicking half. Isaac was more. Well, Isaac obviously still did a lot of the kicking, but he also took on the line a lot.
And to kind of or to rebuttal, if you just look at my run meters, I've one of the least for halves. 118 is not a great amount for a half.
Still
Well,
above average.
It's above average, but it's not good for a running half when you look at, Isaac Edwards has 131, Markley has 147, and I know some of that would be coming from playing at hooker, but he still gets.
I'm pretty sure it does come. Some of that does come from.
Most of it
hooker.
does come from playing hook. It'd be about. I'm pretty sure it'd be about 115.
Miguel
120.
Miguel has 168.
He hasn't he played most of the season at hooker? He played on the hooker weekend.
No, he played one game at hooker, so it would.
Oh.
he's
I
only
think it would
played
be
one
around
game.
150.
Alright.
Yeah. So, as a running half, 118 is not a great amount. And I think actually mine before this round, where I actually had a decent amount of running meters.
Liam, I'm
was,
sorry to hold on. I have to cut you off here, Josh. I'm sorry to break the news to you, Liam, but you have less running meters than a few forwards.
Yeah, of course, bro. I barely get the ball on that team.
Liam, I'm sorry. Jesse Bennett, mate, he's got all over you.
Bro, what do you expect when I touch the ball like 10 times?
Okay, let's continue what we were saying, but
Look, yeah, that's just what I'm saying. If he wants to, like, I would have him in the three halves for Australia. Like, if I had to pick three halves, that were going to be in the squad, he would definitely be in there. If he was to guarantee a spot, I would want him to have less errors. That's just my opinion.
I'm going to rebuttal that with, I actually think Isaac Edward played better than both the Cowboys halves. I actually think he's like, I understand, I don't think he even had more kick meters than them, but his kick placement was spot on every time he kicked it.
Yeah,
I think a few times, there was a few sets in there where the Cowboys kicked in, it was calling the full or something like that. Isaac Edwards' kick placement was actually really good all day.
He always made them turn.
That's just my opinion.
I think Moana had the best kicking.
Bro, it's not about the I don't think it's about like.
Oh,
he's
Moana
not
was
placing
kicking
it in as good spots as like any of the other good halves. He just kicks it straight down to the corner and just gets the winger brings it back 15 meters.
Moana was kicking like well inside his half, so he was going for.
But when you look at Isaac Edwards, Isaac Edwards would always be turning them around, no matter if he was well inside his half. He always turns them around. It doesn't matter. If Moana's kicking was that good, he would do the same.
I only saw about a half, and from what I saw, Moana's kicking was.
I thought Isaac Edwards was the better player. I thought Isaac Edwards was the best half on the field in the game, even though Rabbitohs lost.
Yeah.
But we spent enough time arguing about this. Should we move on?
Yeah, we probably should.
Or what are we moving on to? The team list?
Team list.
Yeah, team list.
Should we just do like the games and then like do the team list while we'll do the game when we do the games?
Yeah. Sure.
Alright, so the first game of the round that we get up the fixtures. Yeah, Broncos Eels.
Oh shoot.
I think the Eels have this.
I think that's an easy game. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
After what I saw last week and the inclusion of Eli Barnes into the halves, I think it's going to be hard to beat them. I think they're going to be. How many wins do they have?
What?
Us?
Yeah. Only one. I think it's still possible for them to make it into
their run.
The run home's not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Broncos this week.
Then they got
Panthers next week. Panthers next week.
And then they got
Cowboys last week would be hard to win.
That would be the hardest one.
But if they win all their games, they're in the top 4.
Well, I could see it happening, to be very honest. I could see it happening.
The Warriors have a tough run home. I can only see them winning 1 out of the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Who else? The Raiders. The Raiders also have a tough run home. Again, I can only see them winning 1 out of the next 2 games.
Raiders.
So the Eels can still make the 4.
I don't even think Raiders will. I think Raiders will win 1 out of 3.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I thought you said 1 out of 2.
Oh, I might have said 2. Sorry, I meant 3. Yeah, because they'll lose. In my opinion, they will definitely beat the Panthers. I'm sorry.
This who's
Sorry,
playing?
Lachlan. You're in a rebuilding stage.
I hate the term rebuilding. Panthers for jokes. Is this the Rabbitohs game? We're worse than the Rabbitohs, aren't we?
no. I was talking about the Raiders in round 7.
I think we'll beat. We'll win a game this season.
Yeah,
But who to?
We'll win a game this season. We're not losing all games this season.
that would be rough.
It'll be rough. We'll win a game eventually. Just don't know what game it is. Hopefully it's this week against the
Broncos-
Cowboys.
Broncos-
Raiders, Rabbitohs, sorry.
Broncos Eels. I think that the Eels are going to be too strong for the Broncos.
I have a feeling that'll happen too. I mean, our team list. I mean, we're experimenting, but I still think our team's strong.
Yeah, I still think these are pretty
Like
strong.
some players fitting into their natural position, some going out of position. But I think it'll be good to see what happens on the weekend and see what happens.
What changes do we have for both sides? Let's have a look at the team lists here for both sides.
Yeah. Team list
Only
Friday.
main changes for Broncos seems to be Levi Raymond going to 6, Jack Carl going to the bench, Jack Blaine drops to the bench with Lennox Prakash going to the second row, Dan Mason. Lennox Prakash going to lock actually. Dan Mason going to the other second row, and I think that's the only changes they have.
Those are some pretty.
Interesting. I think that was pretty fair. Personally, I would have moved Pete Veretto back into the lock position and moved Lennox to the second row.
Didn't Pedro Loretto used to play fullback? I swear he used to play fullback.
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah.
Jesus.
He's transitioned into a forward.
He played an amazing game in the second row. He was moving into the center, even though he was an edge forward.
I still think he's a lock. I think he played it. He moved into the lock in the second half. He played his best footy when it was in the lock in the second half.
Yeah, Pete's a lock, man. He's not a second
I've
row.
moved Lennox. I think Lennox is a better second row too, so I would have moved Lennox to the second row and Pete to lock. Alright, and then we'll have a look at the versus the Eels, right?
The Eels have lots of changes.
The Eels changes are Joey Kelly back to the wing, Damien Shelford to fullback, Eli Barnes to 5'8". Did Luke Short to prop. He didn't play prop last time. He played lock, didn't he?
Lock.
Yeah, he played lock,
Luke Short to prop. Tim James into lock. Jaden White to hooker. And I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds like
those are the main ones at least. There's probably more changes, but those are the main ones.
Yeah.
Who we tipping?
Probably Eels 13 plus. No, 1 to 12 Eels and anytime try scorer me.
I'll go Eels 1 to 12. Actually, I'll go 13 plus. I reckon Eli Barnes is gonna blinder 3 tries.
I think it'll be 1 to 12. I think they're still trying to figure out combinations, but I think if they play them in the next couple of weeks, 13 plus easily.
I'm actually gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna go for Broncos.
Yeah,
I actually think this is. I feel like this is the game.
You always have to be different, bro.
We've all been waiting for Sam Herbin to absolutely just unleash, haven't we? I think this is going to be the game where he absolutely just unleashes on the Eels. Broncos 1 to 12. And I think Levi Raymond's also going to have an unreal game. Back at starting 5'8".
You always have to be different, don't you, Lachlan?
Yeah.
Always on the show.
Yes, I do. Anytime try score. I'll give an anytime try score. We'll go Lennox Prakash because I feel like it'd be really funny if he scored. Lennox Prakash, anytime try scorer. And Sam Herbin to score too. But Lennox Prakash because why not?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Alright, the next game we on to?
We have Rabbitohs Panthers.
Alright. Do you want me to go over the team changes again?
Sure.
Alright, I don't think... Do Rabbitohs have any? I don't think Rabbitohs have any, actually.
No.
Yep, Rabbitohs remain unchanged, while the Panthers have almost remained unchanged. The only big thing they've done is they've moved Josh Shuttlecart to the wing, Brody Kennedy to the centers, and Nathan Fisher to fullback. I'll defend that in a minute, since I know people are going to blow up about it.
Yeah, look, The only thing that I actually really think was a bad move was Josh Saddlecart's move. I think he played really well.
What, in the centers?
Yeah, I think he played really well.
Yeah,
in the
you know,
centre.
he's been playing well in the centers. I moved that to the wings so we get more ball, because wings get more ball than centers.
Yeah,
Well, that's not why. But okay, so the reason Brody Kennedy's not playing fullback is he hasn't upgraded the past 2 weeks. So as sort of like, I guess, a punishment I made, pretty much, I've moved him to the centers.
To set a
Moved Fisher
precedent.
I've rewarded with Fisher since he's played. Fun fact: this first game, Fisher has not featured on the wing for Penrith. I've
Oh,
moved
wow.
Fisher to fullback, and I've moved Saddlecart onto the wing
Yep. Alright, nice.
because I
change.
think. And I actually think that's a good. In my future plan for Penrith is I want Saddlecart to go onto the wing somewhere. It's kind of hard with both Robbie Elms and Nat Fisher playing really well, but I do view Saddlecart as a future full winger because he steps every time he gets the ball at center. So I'm just dreaming of the moment. I'm just hoping that that's what he does when he moves to wing. He just steps all the time.
Also, sorry to break the fourth wall here. Tim, can you please reply to Lennox?
I'm already messaging him.
Okay.
What happened? What happened?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, then. But yeah, that's why I've done that.
I think you're going to struggle this.
Man, just give me some hope, please. Just someone just tip me.
Look,
Just give me some hope. Panthers first. No, jokes. I'm being realistic here.
if the one's able to play a good game, Fisher, because Fisher's also been a little quiet this season so far. But once they find some form, Panthers will be pushing out the top four. They're not a terrible team. It's just you guys, for some reason, your best players are a little out of form at the moment.
Fair enough then. I think that, you know,
Thanks, Tim.
bit of a tricky one, isn't it? I just think that
Yeah,
Penrith. I want to win so badly, man, but it's not gonna happen, is it?
I think you'll win.
I'll tip Rabbitohs 1-12. Because being realistic here, we're not gonna win, but I hope we
Yep.
win.
Look, it's an unlucky turn of events, but
Yeah,
I think
I have
next
have
is
an
gonna be
interesting
strong.
plan this week.
Alright. I'll go for my tip. My tip is I'll go Panthers 13. No. I'll go
Please do go Panthers 13+.
I'll go Rabbitohs 1-12, and I'll go Isaac Edwards to just go off 3 try assists to bounce back, baby.
You know, Lachlan, I love you, mate. Panthers 13+.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Thanks, man.
Fuck.
Give me some hope. Give me some hope. Give me some hope.
Is it actually
Honestly,
gonna
I think it's gonna happen. Nah, jokes. I want it to happen so badly. It's not even funny.
Oh dear, mine will probably be shit. Maybe Rabbitohs 40+. Yeah, lad, 40+, and
Bro,
leave
if that happens,
Ryan for a
I
Hattie.
won't come on in next week if that happens.
Leave Ryan for a Hattie. That's my guess.
I honestly would love some tries.
Yeah,
well,
man.
I would love some ball, please.
anytime try scorer, Joshua Butterfield's just gonna come out of nowhere.
Oh,
and just
Joshua
go-
Butterfield. What team's he playing for?
Lachlan, actually,
Panthers,
fun fact,
obviously.
right? This is a real thing, right? Fun fact. I've only ever scored in round 5 of the competition.
Oh,
Both seasons. I've scored every single round 5 of the competition. I scored last year against the Broncos. I scored season 1 against the Rabbitohs, round 5.
Look, here's another really cool thing. I've only scored in round 3 of competitions. I haven't scored any other time.
That's crazy, but like, did I ask? Oh,
It was a joke because I've only scored 1 try, but thanks.
you're welcome.
Ooh,
Oh, what's the next game?
I think
Cowboys,
you go better.
Cowboys versus Warriors.
Warriors. Lachlan, go through the team changes.
Oh yeah, for what one's this?
Cowboys, Warriors.
Cowboys Warriors. All right, we'll start with the Cowboys. Cowboys seem to have changed nothing, I believe. Yeah, they seem to be unchanged there. While the Warriors have sent Liam Rogers to the centers. That's interesting. I hate that move actually.
Cowboys 13 plus.
Yeah, Cowboys 30 plus just based off that alone. That seems to be it actually. That's the only change I can notice. Liam, yeah, that's dumb. Can I ask? I have to know why. That's nah. He has to. They have to take him off at half time, move him forward at some point because he's too good. He's such a good forward. He's such a good second rower.
He's probably one of the best second rows in the comp at the moment.
They don't
He-
even.
yeah.
But to be fair though, he was playing off the bench at a middle prop role last week. I don't get what they're doing with him.
Yeah, it's an odd. Wait,
Like,
What?
it doesn't
oh
make
no,
any
I'm just
sense
dumb. Don't worry about it.
at all. And they dropped Isaac Simons. Maybe he's inactive, but it doesn't make sense why they keep persisting with Broden Thompson, who's probably not anywhere near as good as Simons or TTR or Maxwell.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
make
weird.
any sense. I'd rather both of them over him.
Yeah, it's weird, but what? The Cowboys probably would have beaten them either way.
Yeah, the
Without-
Cowboys, I still don't even think Cowboys will beat either way. So I'll go Cowboys 1-12, and I'll go.
Remember when Damian Moana was a winger?
Well,
Oh my god, the last season, yeah, he was a
Yeah.
winger.
He was.
It was actually pretty. Was he winger of the season?
yeah.
No, he got
no,
an award though, didn't he?
He was
Future
Future
Star.
I believe. Future Star, yeah.
I'll
Beat
go
me
Bunty
in
Kumbolo to
chess,
score with Cowboys 13 plus.
He beat me, and I'm pissed off, but we won't talk about that.
I'm going Cowboys 13 plus.
Cowboys 13 plus.
Alright, and the final. Actually, Tim, did you give your tip?
No, I didn't. Cowboys.
Cowboys 40.
No, I did that for Rabbitohs, mate.
Oh,
Cowboys
yeah.
50 plus, surely.
I don't know, man. The Warriors is still a good team. I reckon Warriors 1-12. And
Oh.
Fair enough then.
who's my favorite player for Warriors? 1 second.
Surely, like, Logan Strange. Love you. I know Comics is watching this, so, you know.
Sucker. Maybe
With the strange tips, I go Logan Strange.
Hey, it looks
yeah, I'll
like
go with the
Oh,
Strange
he's
tip.
thinking right there. What was that, Tim?
No, I reckon the benchy Tatata Maxwell, he'll come on and
Okay,
already
fair
will
enough
score a
then.
try. Why not?
Alright.
Say him.
It looks like
And-
Tim got a visit from the Sandman because he's dreaming.
Oh, yeah, he says, alright. Wow.
Alright, let's move
Oh,
on
good.
now to the final game of the round, which is the Seagulls taking on the Raiders. I'll quickly have a
40
look
plus.
at these.
Oh,
I'll quickly have a look at these team changes. Alright, for the Seagulls. Kane
Courageous,
Chapman moves to
courageous.
fullback. Chaz Dinger moves to halfback.
Should change.
Blackburn, was he in the centres last week?
Yeah, he was.
No, he sucks.
It was.
I believe.
Is that the only change? And then they also have Cole Lewis and Walker off the bench.
Chaz
I don't like the
Dingo
team.
playing
Oh, yeah,
halfback.
close to 17. 16.
I don't like the team.
I actually
Jesus.
think that's it's pretty.
Yeah, they have
Okay,
Kane
dude.
Chapman Kenny at fullback.
I want to defend this. I
understand why I've done this.
He can't step a bloody
There's
child, mate. What are you
No,
talking
I
about?
understand why I've done this. I don't agree with it. I understand why I've done this though, because Matt Harris promised Kane Chapman Kenny to play fullback at some point this season. Is that why?
Yeah, it is.
He
exactly.
already explained it.
He did.
Doesn't mean I have to agree with it though.
No,
You can have a
but at the
reason, and I can still don't agree with it.
same time, Chaz Dingo's played amazing in the trials. He played really good footy in the halves.
I have a counter to argue to that. Yes, he played good at 5'8", but Kane Chapman Kenny was pretty poor at fullback in the trials.
Yeah, he couldn't even
Yeah,
step for.
Kane, I
Couldn't even
love
step
you,
for
and
it.
I know you're probably watching this right now. I'm really sorry. But
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That's what he's saying. Just shit, Kane.
He can't bring himself to say
Yeah. So I had to
he's not
say
shit.
for
He's
him.
not shit.
it.
He's shit at fullback. I'll change it there.
But
There you
yeah,
go.
well, what I think will be good, we'll be seeing Chaz Dingo in the halves. I think he's going to be really good. With his sort of run. Who the fuck is that? With his sort of speed, he'll have really high kick meters, probably.
I think the problem is though he struggles to break the line. Kane Chap McKinney sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Like in Origin when he like completely threw the series out the window with his stepping. I think he did it pretty poor.
Kane.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't even step a newborn child, mate. Jesus.
No, hey,
that's a little harsh.
all right, no, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, that's offensive to newborn childs, Tim. Children, Tim.
Kane struggled a little bit breaking the line.
Yeah, Kane's a cat. He's a cat.
He struggled a bit breaking the line this season, but that's because last season he was probably one of the best wingers of the comp, and so he's always going to be targeted. So,
really now.
He was
one of the best wingers.
To be fair though, he always benefits off those we spoke about it last week, but he always benefits off the strong forward pack. Whenever the forward pack goes well, he always, that's why he does so well. When the forwards are dominating, that's the only time he'll be able to step because they're dominating so much and they're tired defenders. It just makes sense.
Look, I love Kane. He is a really great player. I think he just needs to kind of forget about all the pressure because I think that's what's holding him back at the moment. And he'll return back to his form. He's a great player. He's got amazing speed.
What's his step?
His step? That's a great question.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, I'm a quick look as well.
It
is probably 99. I'm gonna take a quick guess at that one.
I think it is. It's
got 88 acceleration.
It's 80 sidestep, so it's probably not the best. Which is, though, in fairness, most fullbacks have a fair. Actually, that's actually not true because I'm pretty sure Bunce only has like a 50 sidestep, and Bunce steps a lot.
And Herbert's only got an 85.
Yeah.
A lot of it does come down to acceleration and agility, the combined stuff of that, and he's got decent acceleration and decent agility. I think he'll be good. Having Carl will come off the bench at half. That's kind of obvious.
Who will he take? Will he take your spot?
Yeah, he'll probably he'll be taking my spot. Because you can't really where you're going to put on Dingo.
Yeah, true.
Well, at least if you take
Dingo, I think Dingo would be a decent prop come back on though.
Well, the thing is, he's not that big of a body though. That's the only problem. Matt's told me this, and the reason why I get put into the forward pack is because I'm really tall and pretty solid, so it's a very logical thing to do. But yeah, having Dingo in the halves will be good. It'll be a bit of a challenge for me, and I like it. But I think Seagulls 13+.
Yeah, I agree, bro. It's gonna be Seagulls will just be too good, eh?
Yeah.
And does that do us for the episode? Not too much more, eh? So, thank you all for coming to watch SRL 360. Next week, we will be back to preview round 6 and recap round 5. Until then, I will